Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I want to invite you today to a presentation of the online version of the Global Assessment Report. First of all, I'm enabling here JavaScript so that the full content, which is driven by active components, will show up. So welcome to the GAR 2011. The Global Assessment Report 2011 is an effort of the UNISDR and many other institutions to inform countries of the status of global risks, trends, and to help providing suggestions on policy and recommendations on how to do disaster risk reduction. The Global Assessment Report was launched yesterday at 9 a.m. That was the first event of this platform. There's a printed report that you can get of the Global Assessment Report on room 229 here at the conference center. And all of you, as you know, have received in your bags this, which is a USB card that contains the electronic edition of the GAR, which I'm going to show you how it works. So again, welcome to the GAR 2011 electronic version. The electronic version of the GAR is simply a readable version of the GAR. You don't have to download heavy PDFs. You don't have to do anything. You just click and read the GAR. The GAR starts, of course, with the foreword that Mr. Ban Ki-moon, the Secretary General, wrote for the GAR. And the electronic version is very simple. You can just, as any ebook, you just go page by page. The second page is, the executive summary, which contains a summary of findings and results of the GAR. I will not go on each of these because, this is not a presentation about the GAR, but about the electronic version of the GAR. What you will find here, what are the features, etc. So you can read this electronic version, just by browsing page by page. Chapters have been put together in groups based on 4 criteria. First, what is at risk, which is essentially chapters 2 and 3 that talks about risk trends and drought risk. So you will see that we have about 10 pages of content here. You see how fast they load. This is one of the things that we wanted to achieve, again, with the electronic version of the GAR, that you can very, very quickly download things. The first thing that you will notice is that most maps have an enhanced version. So you can zoom in on the maps and have a much higher resolution, really, really big versions of those maps that you can, go over much more detail and get a better hint of what these maps are all about. The second thing that you will notice from the electronic version of the GAR is that it contains a lot of reference of different types. Some of the references are all the footnotes. Footnotes, well, these are really chapter end notes. So we have, alive footnotes like this that you don't have to browse, 5 or 6 pages on the chapter to go and read them. They are right there in the chapter, so that makes reading the entire GAR 11 much more easier. We also have all the bibliographic references alive. For example, this one, Peduzzi et al. 2011. These references, you can check them right away. They are embedded in the text. Furthermore, GAR 11, as I said, GAR 11 is an effort of many, many partners and institutions. The printed version of the report is only the tip of the iceberg. The real GAR 11 is a set of over 75 contributing papers that are those that conform the entire body of the GAR. They provide depth to each of the statements and charts and maps that you find in the GAR, and you can find them, all of them, in these little tabs that are open on the side of the chapters. For example, for chapter 2, we have several, interesting reports. Just let me open any one of them. You will see that they will come very, very nicely. They are, in this case, they are PDF documents of different lengths, but they provide, the additional content that has been synthesized and conformed the GAR. Those references can be found, as I said, in the right side hand of the GAR, but also in the text of the GAR. For example, this one, you see the reference there has a small, GAR icon on the left. That means that is a GAR contributing paper. So if you open the bibliographic reference, you will find the author, the title, etc. And then you can also drill down and go and see the contributing paper. So these are kind of the easy reading facilities that we added to the GAR 11. Again, the GAR 11 has been chopped and reorganized in 4 main groups. The first one, what is at risk, in which we have the 2 chapters that talk about risk trends, extensive risk, drought risk, etc. The second big component of the electronic version is what has been done, which fundamentally is the Hyogo Framework of Action progress report summary of the entire GAR. In this section, you will find the content of the report itself, the summary, but you will also find 2 interesting gateways. One is a window to all the country reports. So you will find here, if you want to see any of the reports that the countries have submitted to the Hyogo Framework of Action progress report monitoring process, they are here. They are in the original language that they were submitted. For example, the first one, Algeria. This is in French. So this is the national report from Algeria that was submitted and was analyzed, and whose results are found here. We also have the HFA Progress Viewer here. This is a very, very nice interactive tool that will let you see visually the level of progress of the Hyogo Framework of Action in different places of the world. We have the 5 priorities of action for action of the Hyogo Framework. For example, right now we're looking at priority 1 and the global one, but we can also drill down and see other priorities, and we can even go to specific indicators within that priority. How are they doing in different parts of the world? The red ones are those countries that reported low progress. The blue ones are the ones that reported higher progress, etc., etc. This is the first of 3 viewers that we have embedded in the electronic version of the GAR. The 2 other viewers are in the section of what is at risk. They are the Global Risk Data Platform. Oh, Sorry, this is a... So while these go on, I'm going to show you the second platform. Okay, let me try this again. Oh, here we have it. So this contains the global risk assessment that was conducted for the global assessment report by UNEP and other partners. You can find maps, data, graphs. You can download statistics. It's an extremely data-rich tool. Just to give you an example, I'm going to show you very quickly a hazard risk map for cyclones in the north coast of the US. So you can see, as you zoom in, you will see the map of risks, et cetera, et cetera. We have the 4 major risks available with different layers, also frequency, events, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The third viewer of the electronic version, which is a very interesting thing, is about disaster loss data. With this viewer, you can actually see the databases that fed the global assessment report and the databases that fed the extensive risk analysis, both in the, Latin America, Asia, and Africa, and there's also a gateway to the one in the United States. As an example, then you could get information if you want to, for example, ask about floods in Argentina. You just come here, click on floods, click on Argentina, click on view data, and you will get, the list of all the floods that have happened in Argentina with their effects in the last 30 years. You could graph their behavior. You could, produce maps about these phenomena using very nice backgrounds. The disaster data platform and the risk data platform are also interlinked. So you can potentially, at some point, have, it's taking some time. So here we have the map of floods in Argentina over a professional map. It's a very easy to use tool that we are inviting all of you to take advantage of. We have statistics of more than 45 countries, detailed statistics on disaster losses. We also have risk maps for the entire globe at a very good coverage for cyclone, floods, earthquakes, landslides, flash floods, fires, and we are starting to improve the earthquake model. So keep coming because this is only going to get better. Finally, you can download the entire GAR here. So welcome to the GAR. You have all the data that we have for you right here. Thank you very much.